All right, thanks, Mike, and thanks everybody. Obviously, the recruiting has changed over the years. The early signing, the portal, and what that means, and then obviously the date was always the first Wednesday in February. So things are a little different. And we will have two guys that will sign on tomorrow, and we're excited about that. Obviously, I can't say anything about it yet, but we're excited. We've started our winter conditioning. The guys are running on Tuesday and Thursday, and Monday, Wednesday, Friday is lift groups and lift sessions, and really like the attitude of our team. Coach Hall, who really this is his team right now, just like in the summer, he does an unbelievable job with our guys, and really like the direction that we were going in, and we're excited. Like Mike said, at the end of the month, we'll be able to get out there and start spring practice, look at some guys, really push some guys, get the guys, younger guys, get a good look at them, and we are going to be a young football team. So we're excited, and we're working hard.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll open it up for questions, and we'll begin with Andre.
Hey, Coach, speaking about being young, the offensive line lost 6 of its 8 most experienced players. How concerned are you that you only have 2 linemen that have had more than 36 career snaps at FBS?
Yeah, am I worried? I don't think I'm worried. I'm anxious. I can't wait to see how these guys compete in the spring. They're competing right now because every day is a competition for us, and they're competing right now. When you look at the runs, I like the athleticism of the group, and I know Mike will do a hell of a job of developing those young guys.
And then with the secondary, this time last year, you're looking to replace 3 starters. This year, you're replacing 2, but with 3 cornerbacks that got a lot of playing experience last year, and then you've got Barfield and Baskerville who started and played a lot. Is it fair to say the secondary looks to be, at least the starters, to be very stable heading into spring camp?
Yeah, I thought Pat McMorris is really a good football player. Barfield, obviously, Dallas Branch. I can tell you, he's a guy that we're going to be counting on. He's had some surgery. Had 2 guys have some surgery back there to clean up their shoulders, but really. I like what he did. I think Noah Venger, the year he had for a young guy, and then Noah Tumblin really played well. The exciting thing is to see where Cassius Savage and Jelani and Des Malone, where they're at, and Jaden Brown, at the corner positions.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
Thanks, Andre. We'll go to Todd.
Hey, Brady. I know you were instrumental in recruiting Tom Brady to Michigan. Tom Brady announces his retirement today. Your thoughts on that, and how's that hit you? 22 years basically after he left Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, Tom was always one of those guys who was an unbelievable competitor. He didn't have an easy ride at Michigan, I can tell you, but he had great friends. Most of his best friends were the D linemen. They just hung out together and were close, and really got him through a couple years that you didn't know if he was going to show up again. But you look at his work ethic and how he does everything. I mean, what a great career.
What do you remember about recruiting him back in high school?
He was a bad-looking athlete. I can tell you that. But he could spin it.
So you saw something in that bad athlete.
Well, look, I was a D-line coach, so that wasn't my decision. My decision was to bring him back and see what the quarterback coach thought.
Thanks, Brady.
You got it.
Thanks, Todd. Looking for other questions for Coach? We'll go to Kirk.
Hey Brady, can you say what positions you'll fill tomorrow with the signees?
Yeah, one on defense and one on offense. How about if I do that? One safety and one wide out.
Okay. Also, any other transfers you would expect to get coming up?
You know, I think Kirk. Not right now. I do think at the end of spring there may be some opportunities there.
And what other positions would you be looking to acquire with those spots?
Yeah, I think number one, you know, we're always going to look for a good defensive lineman, a guy who could be a difference maker. Even though, you know, I like what we did there in this first go around in the portal. The other position I really, if you got a running back out there that is, I don't know, Pumphrey, something like that, maybe.
Are there a lot of those out there?
There might be. There might be at the end of, you know, there's going to be a lot happen with spring practice. You know, there's going to be guys who are going to be ticked off that they're not the first guy or getting reps or whatever. So it's going to be interesting.
How much different of a strategy is that from a recruiting standpoint now? Because, you know, in the past you never had really a spot to leave open like that because they couldn't transfer so readily.
Yeah, it's probably more like Kirk, the old JC, right? Recruiting a junior college guy after they had to get, you know, all their academic work done, so they wouldn't be ready in January, but they could be there in June. It's kind of that way.
What you're feeling in the running back room? This is the first year I think that there has been like a 1,000-yard rusher returning in maybe a decade.
I like it. I mean, I like, you know, Jordan Bird and Chance Bell. I think Jalen Armstead. I liked Lucky Avenger. Cam Davis, I think, will be a fun guy to watch. We thought he was awfully good on scout team. So I like the room. I like the room. And then obviously Sheldon coming in and Lucky Sutton coming in. Pretty excited about those guys.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks, Kirk. We'll go to John.
Hey, Coach, hope you're doing well.
Yep.
Just wanted to ask you about Braxton Burmeister, officially on your roster, and what you hope that he's able to add to your team this fall.
Well, number one, you know, there's going to be competition, and I really like what he has done, though. You know, I liked what he's done in the weight room, watching him in there. I like how he's competed in the runs. You know, I think from an athletic standpoint, John, he's a very, very good athlete. You know, they'll get the balls out a week from Thursday, and they'll be throwing the ball around, so maybe I'll be able to see that. I don't know.
Well, you mentioned the fact that he's a superb athlete. I mean, would he be one of the better athletes on the team regardless of position?
Yeah, I would say he would fit that. You know, I think you know, Will Haskell's a heck of an athlete, and Crum is a heck of an athlete. Kyle Crum, really athletic. So I think there'll be really good competition there, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see who jumps out.
How do you feel about the other group of quarterbacks, whether it's Will or Jalen, some of the incoming freshmen you have? How do you feel they'll acclimate for next fall?
Oh, I think they'll do really well. I think coming early instead of coming in the summer, they're going to learn a lot. They're going to be, you know, they're going to be able to get spring football. I think that's, if you want to compete, I think you have to do it that way.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John. We'll go to Brandon.
Greetings. Good
Hey.
to see you again, sir.
Good to see you, Brandon.
I just want to follow up on Todd's great question there. Just wondering when the last time or times you think you talked to Tom, and what lessons from his life that either you saw in your college years or your back in Michigan years that you can still teach to your kids today.
Well, you know, we had a group of guys during that time, and the 97 championship guys, and even though Tom wasn't in that class, you know, just I thought Coach Carr did an unbelievable job. messaging to the team every day. And, I think when you look at, Tom really started a year and a half, and he just kept competing. And that's what I would say as much as anything. I tell our guys the same thing. Charles Woodson, I never saw Charles Woodson get beat in a gasser, when we ran in the summers and ran in the winter. Never saw him get beat. He wouldn't allow anybody to beat him. And we had some guys who were pretty damn athletic in that football team.
All right. Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks, Brandon. We'll go to Troy.
Hey, Coach, question for you regarding when you have transfers come in, regardless of their position, and you have guys there have been with the program for a couple of years, how do you manage the guys who have been there with the program, who are competing for that spot with a transfer, specifically maybe your quarterbacks? You have Braxton, who started a bunch of games, and you've got guys who've competed for you but haven't started. How do you manage the guys that are there so that they don't enter the transfer portal?
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to stop that if a kid makes up his mind, Troy. But I do think, this is about competition, right? And I just said Tom Brady started maybe a year and a half. He never left. He kept with it, and he had great teammates. I think we all are going to be in a position now that you've got to recruit your team all the time, because of the portal has made it a lot easier, for guys to basically quit. So I think we're going to have great competition with it. The new guys who come in, whether you're a D lineman, an outside backer, tight end, quarterback, no matter what, the first thing I tell them is this is different. This is a different program. And that's going to be about how you acclimate into the program with the players that are here. And that to me is what I've seen from all of them right now is their work ethic and their being a teammate has been really high.
Do you learn a lot about a guy's character when a situation like that comes in, and if so, what do you learn about it?
Well, I think you do. I think if we all want winners, right? I mean, we want guys who are going to work their tails off. They're going to, do things the right way, whether it be the classroom or anything else, or socially. So when those new guys come in, it gets you, and you watch, it's just like watching all of them, watching Justice Tavai and watching him run. And I think it's kind of neat with him and Jonah, obviously. And I think with Cooper and Caden, I think it is absolutely fun to watch them run and compete against each other.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Troy.
Thanks, Troy. Back to Kirk.
Hey, Brady, we're getting closer and closer to the new stadium. Obviously, when you're there, you're usually working. So how much do you really notice the amenities of a new place like that? What do you think will stand out to you the most?
I think when we get there, I haven't been back out there probably, Kirk, in a couple months. So I'm excited to go and see if we can set something up, and I'm sure we can, to go out there. And I really want to bring the team out there at some point, and let the guys, and may have to do that by position because of, just OSHA and all that stuff. But I can't wait. I think it's Kirk, and I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, is there a particular feature of the stadium you're looking most forward to seeing?
You know what? I do want to see the locker room. I'll be honest with you. I think, when that starts, and I haven't been in there since they've really started, putting walls and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm excited about, the two scoreboards where they're going to be diagonally. So I'm pretty pumped.
On the video boards, I know a lot of fans will be excited to see state of the art. Can you recall when you would look up at it at the old stadium and your thoughts seeing what those were like compared to what you're going to see now?
Well, let me ask you the same thing. You've been covering this team a long time. Don't you think there'll be one heck of a difference?
I think it'll be like going from playing Pong to whatever the latest version of the latest video games are.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Do you ever look up at that? How much do you look up at that to decide whether to make a challenge, or how does that go down?
Well, I think you do, but I'm sure the coach's box will have plenty of TVs and those kind of things that they can look at also. But yeah, there's no doubt you're going to use that as a tool.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Kirk.
Thanks, Kirk. We'll go to Lee.
Hey, Brady, is Burmeister maybe the most accomplished transfer quarterback the program's had in a long time? And I know you had guys, JUCO guys, and you had Oregon State quarterbacks, things of that nature. But is this guy accomplished more because he played in the ACC for a year and a half and had a taste of the Pac-12?
That's a good question, Lee. I wasn't here when some of those other guys came in. The Oregon State, I don't even know that guy's name, but I'm excited about what I've seen on film with Braxton, his competitiveness and what we've done so far from a running standpoint and that standpoint, and what I've seen on film. I'm excited to see him live and in person, throwing the ball. I know he's been with Jesse and some of those guys during the weekend, throwing the ball and doing all that kind of stuff. So, we just aren't allowed and haven't had that opportunity yet.
Is he a pass first quarterback, run second, and is his running gait and style kind of like Lucas's was?
I think it's different. I think, Lucas was taller, longer. But what I see of Braxton is maybe twitchier. As much as anything, I think he has that ability.
Question also on JUCOs. Is community college recruiting evaporated because of the transfer portal? And it doesn't seem like there's an awful lot of guys getting signed early, or even are they going to be walk-on candidates?
I agree that the portal could have a real, hurt JUCO football. I'm not sure of that yet, Lee, but it's one thing we've talked about as a staff a little bit. And, you hear some other guys, who you talk to on the road, what's it doing to junior college recruiting? And so I think it's going to be interesting. We got to settle this thing down at some point, though, Lee. I do believe that. I think the NCAA or I don't think the federal government how much they're going to get involved, but with NIL and the portal, I think at some point the NCAA is going to fully give its blessing all the way, or they may want to look at it.
Well, I also had a question about the emergence of your super seniors who come back. There must be an intangible there that they have saved you from what would be massive rebuilding by getting those 6 or 7 kids decide they want to play one more year. Is that a fair read?
Yeah, I like those guys who are in that position. Just like a year ago, you had Hawkins, Trent, and I think Zach Thomas. I think there was one more that was like a super senior. But we don't have many of those this time, but we have just the right amount.